Welcome to Solutions from the Yard, a candid discussion about life behind bars and its effect on society. Your host for this episode is Michael Dickerson-El.
Welcome to Solutions from the Yard. And today, once again, Michael Dickerson-El is co-hosting this beautiful show that we're going to have. And I have my two cohorts with me, Brother Charles Hopkins. Tell him how you doing, bro.
I'm doing great, feeding the people today, hanging out with you, getting life, living life on life term, having a good time.
Dietrich, what's going on with you, bro?
Man, I'm blessed. You know me.
Yeah, as always.
Every day. Always.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to be blessed, man. We all blessed, man, to be here another day. Right. Working out our life sums, trying to get it right.
That's right.
And today's show, man, we gonna do something a little different. Today's show is gonna be about our accomplishments. Accomplishments, the reentry. And I'm just gonna ask my cohorts, a little series of questions on their accomplishments. Some of the things, the obstacles that they went through, and how they overcame them. Because we want one thing about our show, we want our show to be as real as possible.
That's right.
And when I say as real as possible, I ain't talking about reality show real as possible, but just telling the truth about how things go with brothers and sisters, man, that, do long periods of time. And, they have to go through those struggles. And, some of our shows that we had, we point out a lot of different issues. But one thing about this show that we want to do, we want to point out, how, us three, this trio, how we, got success, in reentry, and also just success in, just the paths that we took. Because all of us went through different paths. And, we just going to, give the audience a clear overview of how we made it, so you can, pave the way so you can make it.
That's right.
And Brother Charles, man, me and you, we co-workers, we work together, man. How things been going for you?
Well, so far things been going, I'm gonna say great. And the reason why I say that is, one, I got a job. So, if you got a job, you got money. If you got money, you have the ability to do some things.
Right.
So I can do some things. But more importantly, I got my own place. So I don't have the pressures of not having a place, but more importantly, and not having the pressures of not being able to pay my bills. And when I first got out, that's one of the things I was saying before I got a place, that I'm saving to get a place. But I said that I wouldn't get no place that I could not pay the rent. So I'm not going to, it might look good right now. It might be, they might give me like a year grace period. We pay your rent for a year. But if I couldn't pay the rent on my own, or for the income I had coming in, I wasn't going to get the place, because I knew at the end of the day, I was going to be back out on the street. So overall, I'm doing good,
I'm going to stick with you real quick, Chuck, because, I know all of us that heard this before, when we was in, and you always had a guy that go home and turn around, come back year later, 18 months later, and he telling you how hard it is out there. You remember him, we done seen that guy numerous of times. He cried boo-hoo. Oh, man, they ain't doing nothing for you out there, man. Man, it ain't nothing, man. It's hard. And you be like, dang, it's like that. And you start to get anxiety, because you looking like, man, if it's like that, how I'm gonna make it?
Right.
Because I done way more time than him. Let's talk about that. Debunking that. We know that there's obstacles, but how did you overcome those obstacles of reentry? And getting past the theories, or all the cliche things that guys used to say about how hard it is out here.
I'm gonna take up. We did this documentary, and Dietrich said something in the documentary. He would never trade his prison experience for nothing. He said he would trade what he got him in there, but as far as the experience that came out of that, he wouldn't trade it. And when he said it, I thought about that. And that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't trade. I prepared myself to come out. So while I was in, I didn't take the position that one, I'm not going to die in prison. So I'm not staying in prison in my head.
Right.
I'm institutionalized, ain't no doubt. I got issues, ain't no doubt. But I'm not going to allow this experience to get me to a point, a thinking process that I can't make it. Right. Or more importantly, somebody owe me. Mm-hmm. See, I ain't come out with I can't make it and somebody owe me. Because if somebody owe me, then when they don't pay me, then I'm gonna get into a pity party. That's gonna revert to something else. What I did, I literally when I got out, I literally had a plan. I said, okay, within a year, I'm gonna have my own place. Mm-hmm. All right. So I took advantage of the network of information that was out there. And I'm not saying that everywhere I went, it was open doors.
Right.
We was talking about this earlier. I'm saying with some places I went, somebody might have something bad to say about them, but I'm saying as far as my experience with them, it was a good experience.
Exactly.
When I went to the mayor's office on return assistance, they put me in a position to get mental health.
Right.
That gave me the ability to stabilize myself. So now I'm in an environment where I can talk to somebody that's gonna help me understand my anxiety. Mm. But then when I found myself, I'm networking with the returning citizen population. So I'm networking with people that is they're saying, I'm trying to help you if you want to help. And so to debunk the myths, right, it's not a matter of it's not being hard out here. Right. That's not an issue. It's not a matter of it being difficult. It's difficult for people that been living in society all their life. They ain't did a bit.
Exactly.
And some of them right today is homeless. And they ain't did no bit. What it is, the reality is that we have to take and accept responsibility, and accept responsibility. We accept the responsibility. It's on us to do what needs to be done for us, and not depend on nobody to do it for us. And if we put ourselves in that position and that perspective, then we're going to debunk a lot of myths. Because when the difficulty comes, we say, with every difficult come ease. Mm. And I believe that, and that's not a cliche. Whatever difficulty come easy if you prepare yourself to deal with that difficulty and not allow that difficulty to consume you and become your problem.
Exactly. Well, same you, Dietrich. How did you overcome that, that anxiety of guys telling you this, telling you that, because you did 25, went in when you was 16, came on the IRA. And,
I ain't do the IRA.
Oh, you didn't do the IRA?
Nah, but I was part of it. But
you was part of it, okay. Yeah, so how did you overcome some of those things, got yourself in the position where you at now?
It's funny because I was having a conversation. It was an organic conversation the other day between some brothers that all did a long stint in prison. Mm-hmm. And we were just looking around and saying, damn, man, we doing all right. Yeah. No, I'm just, and this is a serious conversation. We was like, we doing all right. And one of the main things that I said in this conversation is I said, we got to keep the scale tilted in our balance. Mm-hmm. Because we always going to have the brothers that's not going to be fortunate enough to keep their feet on this side of the concrete. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? And whatever that may be, why they might go back to whatever, but that's a part of reality. Mm-hmm. We see, like Mike said, we see the dude that come back in, man, it's hard, and it puts on that trauma on us and that anxiety on us, and the ones is like, we can't wait to go home or have a... So now we go back at ourselves, but before I'm going to get to the point, but we go back at ourselves and now revitalize all our thoughts of what we want to do when we go home, because what he said, right?
You made me ball up my blueprint.
Right. And getting to the blueprint was understanding. See, when I was in prison, I understood, like you just said, Charles, that you knew you weren't going to die in there. Mm. And me, I knew that me being in prison was just a long chapter in my book of life, right? I just knew, okay, this is something I got to go through because I knew what I was coming from. Mm-hmm. I said, and plus, that was for real, honest, it saved me, right? So when I came home, I knew a lot of, I knew the pressure was going to be on me from not only from others, but from myself.
Yeah.
Right? So I ain't allow nobody to put no pressure on me that I ain't going to put on myself.
That's right.
Right? So I came home for a whole year. I told myself, I don't want no driver's license. Right? I said, I want to experience everything, getting on the bus, getting on the metro, asking somebody to come and pick me up, feeling that hardship.
Right.
Because I ain't want to jump to it, act like it was easy. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, like I tell people, man, I took over a year and a half, I took subsidized pay. I took under $10. It wasn't even about, I loved I was working, right. But I was networking for something bigger.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I knew I wanted to, so I knew I had to call an audible, or I had to be flexible
right.
with my aspirations and with the things that I wanted to do. And I came out here thinking I wanted to be a trainer. Right? Because I in prison, that's all, I worked out all day, then that's all we do. So I educated myself into the physical education and thought that I was gonna come home and make a life of that.
Right.
But that ain't the way things went. So I had to be flexible with like, boom, because you 25 years gone.
Right.
You gotta be, you gotta be on the audible right then and there. Right. You gotta hurry up and put everything back in perspective. This is not an avenue for you. You can try it, but I knew if I go through that avenue, it's gonna be, I'm not gonna rip the benefits of my labor at this age. Right. I knew that. Right. I knew I wasn't. So I said, I got to switch my game up now and educate myself some more and find me an avenue that's going to allow me to be successful out here, because it was a lot of organizations that was out here that was willing to give us the contract, so we utilize them. I utilize them to my benefit. I ain't allow them to work me, you know what I'm saying? Not that they work as anybody, because they supposed to be for good, Mike. But at the end of the day, I always believe you put in what you gonna get out of something. You know what I'm saying? So if I already know this ain't nothing but a 6-month contract, now I'm gonna go in here for the 6 months. I need to come out of this 6 months at this job and have another opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that was some of the main things I was doing, and one of the main things was I was one of the first brothers from around my way that came home that did a lot of time, and I had a rack of my brothers that was from around my way in. So it was important for me to do right. You know what I'm saying? Because they was counting on it, and not on, my family, everybody counting on it, but it's different aspects of them, because I motivated my brothers into seeing, man, he out there doing good. I got to get home. Right. It's a possibility. It takes away the anxiety. If he's out there doing good, I know, man, I got a chance. My brother out there. And that was one of the main things I always wanted to send back, Mike, and Charles, to the prisons, was that, it's possible, bro. Because dream, in prison, man, you got dream killers. You soon as you come out your cell, you tell the dude, I'm about to go to commissary. Man, ain't no commissary. They said they ain't. You know how the dream killers are, because he ain't got no money.
Of course, at the commissary closed, you got zeros on your account.
Yeah, so man, how it is, man. So that's and Mike, that's real, man, because the naysayers. We know keep brothers in prison.
That's right.
Exactly.
You know that.
Exactly. Yeah, one thing about reentry, man, is not a game, man. We are not playing checkers. We playing chess.
That's right.
So, and that's the thing, man. You got to be a thinking man, because, when you talk about training, man, that was my thing, working out and all that, man. I'm thinking I'm going to come home, I'll be blessed. I'm 51 years old, so I'm going to be a personal trainer. You know what I'm saying? It like you said, I had to really switch it up. Yeah. I was on the football field, and I turned around, I was in the boxing ring. I had to start, they say boxing is a thinking man's sport. Yeah. So I had to really, just really rewind everything and just say, you know what, this is the direction I'm gonna go. But see the thing I'm gonna tell you one thing that prison teaches all of us.
Come on.
It teaches patience.
That's right.
And see, that's the number one thing you need when you come home is patience. Yeah. You got to have patience, man, because if you don't have patience and you letting the anxiety and all these other things take over your thinking, you're going to rush into destruction. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, you got to have patience, because the patience is going to help you sit back and say, let me reevaluate what I'm going to do. Right. Because like Charles said, doors going to be slammed in your face. You got to have that patience to sit back and say, let me reevaluate. You know, let's draw this game plan up again and shoot your jumper like that. Because, you know, reentry can be hard if you make it hard. Yeah. And that's the whole thing, man. That's why I say, you know, let's debunk these theories, because reentry can make it hard if you want. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But it's your mindset, you know, because when I was in prison, every prison that I was in, I always try to have a job. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And that prepared me, far as kept me from being lazy. I was used to getting up early in the morning when the doors pop. I wasn't one of them type guys that slept all the way to lunchtime. Yeah. You know, I got up, went to breakfast, did my little job or whatever, and then I went out and worked out. But all these things instill discipline. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about being in prison, staying busy. When you stay busy, it teach you discipline, and ain't nothing but a transferable skill. Because now you can take that same discipline and come out here when it's time to beat that pavement looking for jobs, and you know, you have an organization send you this direction, and then this organization might send you another direction. You got to have discipline, because now you in the mindset, I got patience. This man say that this the direction I go, I'm going to go there. And then, you know, eventually you're going to come to those open doors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because me and you talked about that one time. You know, you got to just keep knocking on the doors until the doors open. And once they open, that's where the patience come in, because now the opportunity presents itself. Once the opportunity presents itself, you stick your foot in the door and don't let it close. And that's that. And that just, you know, basically that's our road to success. But you gotta put yourself in position to see that open door. That's right. You see what I'm saying? And that debunks a lot of those theories, man. Is putting yourself in position. You see what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of coming home and having a game plan and just having your mindset. Because I didn't have no super duper plan about getting no degree or nothing like that. Like you saying, my thing was I wasn't gonna die in prison. And another thing, when I get home, I'm not coming back to jail. That was my plan. Yeah.
And you know what? And I think a lot of brothers, that be in their mind not to go back in prison, right? But I think behavior.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right? And I don't mean saying by behavior. I'm saying because if you not willing to have accountability with yourself.
Come on.
Right.
Yeah, you going back, bro.
Yeah.
You got it. Nobody can't check you but yourself.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to have accountability with yourself, especially when you know what you is coming from. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it, especially, and this is what I know. One thing I know a lot of us learn in prison is that mental aspect to see stuff before it happens.
Right.
Because we know, because we could feel tension more than anybody, faster than anybody. Mm-hmm. So, and I learned that, I said, instead of always waiting, man, when you feel something like this, or you feel that you, especially when it's dealing with you, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't, man, boom, remove that energy.
Right.
Remove it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you gotta be like, man, I can't lose. I'm always on, I gotta win. Every day I gotta get up, I gotta get a W.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because
exactly.
It's for real.
Exactly. And you know what? And you said something about when you made a point that, like, you knew that you had that whenever you completed a task, you made sure that you had the network or build something to have something
coming out of
that,
right?
Because you wasn't just sitting back like and stipend chasing.
Yeah.
Because when I got out, I went to this group Samaritan. And they taught you job readiness. Right. And so I sat through that joint. They give me a ball 25.
Right.
So I'm sitting through the joint and I'm networking. All right, what can I get out? Am I gonna get a job? Am I gonna get housing?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get none of that from this. Yeah. And that became self-evident real quick. But I didn't stop doing it because COVID had hit, And so I ain't going nowhere anyway. So I say, this is good discipline.
Right.
To sit
There
still
you
in front of
go.
this monitor.
Yes.
Right? And just go through the motions. And also, you have to regurgitate what you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. When I finished that, I wind up homeless. I wind up in the shelter. And I got a job, a part-time job. So now because of this discipline, I say, okay, I'm going to work. I got a year program, get a place, so I gotta save money. In the interim of that, I wind up signing up for Pivot, Georgetown Pivot. So now I know that I'm gonna get a check. This is stipend. I know I got a stipend coming for at least 9 months, right? So now the thing is, I'm not trying to be no entrepreneur. I don't have no aspirations to sell nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not trying to put a business plan together or none of that.
Right.
I'm trying to be an activist. I'm trying to be active in the community. I'm trying to do things to help people coming out. That's my aspiration. So now I'm saying, well, the money I'm getting right here, ultimately I got my place, I can pay my bill. Now I can focus on how do I get in the space of what I want to do
exactly.
and get compensated for it.
Right.
And so that's what
For your talent.
For my talent,
Yes.
right? So because they always tell you in employment when you're in job ready, say, man, if you're going to work and you hate it, don't go, quit it.
Yes.
Because eventually you're gonna quit anyway.
Right.
So you should like your job and you should like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing it like, say, okay, this is a stopgap. I'm just doing this till I get something better. That's the understanding you got, and that's the understanding you operate. And I'm gonna close on this point. As far as like when guys come home. And we was talking to a dude yesterday, and the dude say, Mike tell the dude, say, listen, man, sign up for this right here, right? And put your name on the list, even if it don't, and then if you got something else, go look at that. But if that don't come through, at least you on this list. He was arguing with the dude when the dude was leaving out the door. Mike told me, the dude said, oh yeah, dang, that's right, I can do that. Like in his brain, he couldn't make the connection that let me put this egg in the bush basket. Let me have this egg in the basket. If I go over here, and ain't no eggs over here, I still got this egg right here because he had no plan, he had no vision, and he had no perspective. He really was like just moving from like
Point A to point
aimless.
B.
He was moving aimless.
Yeah. You know, I want to put a disclaimer about the jobs, right? And about the jobs, about the brothers getting the jobs, going back from stipend chasing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about that is, a lot of brothers got to make a living off that, right?
Right. That's what they're trying to do.
Because these the only jobs that's available to the brothers that's coming home, right? And so they get caught up in that web of, I can't escape this. And you don't never really get a full career into none of these fields.
Nothing.
Because you don't have, they not really teaching you any transferable skills, you know what I'm saying? Or any soft skills that you could use as, to build on your talent. It's just, you make my numbers because you are a returning citizen, right? And that's a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
And it leads to recidivism. It leads to, homelessness. And, and one other thing, I want to salute you too, man.
Yeah, that's a good point though.
I want to salute you because of knowing all the time that you did, Charles, and knowing you came out here and experienced hardship and and to be homeless.
Yeah.
In COVID.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And just what I'm saying,
Yeah,
because
right.
a lot of brothers would have reverted back to
What they do. Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, or would have found another avenue, or wouldn't have been steadfast on their goals, right? You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to salute you on that, man.
Thank
You doing good work, and that was tremendous, man.
And you know what? And like I said, we not kicking nobody that's stipend chasing.
Right.
What we're saying is that don't allow that to become
Who you are?
who you are.
Yeah.
That's an income. Just take it as it is. I got an income.
Yeah.
Put it towards take that money, save it to try to get you a place, and then have your mindset that okay, go orientated. This money right here, I'm saving to get a place. I got rent. I got 5 months of rent, worth of rent stashed away. Now I'm looking for a job. Okay, if I can't get no job, Okay, I'm looking to build my savings account up. In other words, these are transferable skills. The transferable skill is what you transfer your thinking to. So I transfer my thinking to like, okay, I'm transferring my thinking from paying bills to saving. Now I got a savings account. I got a nest egg. Now I'm going out trying to get some employment. Back to another stipend. Okay, I got to build my savings. But don't say, oh man, what? Somebody says, boy, you know they paying $15 over there to such and such. What they doing over there? Oh man, they leaf blowers. They give you a stipend for like 90 days. Okay, man. Yeah, okay. That's you're gonna get.
That's an opportunity.
Opportunity.
You don't know, and because you don't know. I always tell, man, you especially in our situations, we walking resumes because we everywhere we in any office building anywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to so when you go on these jobs, these opportunities, man, be the best.
Be the best.
Exactly.
Be the best. Be the best. Yeah, you guys, it's all about you, ain't about them.
Exactly.
It's about It's not only about. It's about this whole community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't just about. They not gonna look at you as an individual. They're gonna look at that community as he coming from an ex offender.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we can't trust them because look at him. We can't. So that's why it's I always say, man, we gotta keep the scale tilted in our battle. And right now, man, we winning.
Right.
You know, and I don't mean in like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, man, we got a lot of brothers in the DC community that's in positions, man, that's making changes in this community. They fighting violence, and they feeding people, helping people get their identity back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, educating brothers. Yeah. Man, we everywhere in the field.
Yeah,
we everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I mean that we winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to end it on this note, it's a saying that says the best things in the hands of a fool may be turned to his destruction, and out of the worst, the wise will find means of good. So that thing, the stipend chaser could be turned into your destruction if you foolish with it, don't know how to utilize it.
Right, Mike.
See, and that's the whole thing, knowing how to utilize your resources. Once you learn how to utilize your resources, then you can take advantage of the things that's out here. And that's going to end this edition of Solutions from the Yard, man. We see y'all next time.
You've been listening to Solutions from the Yard. This podcast is presented by Voices for a Second Chance, a comprehensive reentry program that provides culturally appropriate, trauma-informed, gender-specific, and peer-based services. For more information, go to info@vscdc.org or visit our website at www.vscdc.org.